Oh, it's already open. I forgot to turn off my delay. Sorry about that. Clean feed should work in a second. And we should be going. There we go. Awesome. Alrighty. We got, alright, what do we have tonight? Tonight is first of the top four, I believe. So we got the quarterfinals, or quarterfinals, quote unquote quarterfinals. I believe last time we watched Xeon and Crusaders kick it off, and I really need to turn off the sound of a different game that I'm playing. I'm sorry, guys. Playing a game at the same time I'm commentating for a tournament right now. Hilarious. But yeah, got the update for the tournament scheduled. We have Crusaders versus TKT going to be our first match, and tonight we're going to have Mugon Kingdom versus Ecliptos. Ecliptos doing very well. Mugon Kingdom, very surprising, the performance between Mugon Kingdom and GNG. I really did think that GNG should not have lost that field battle, but the reality is we got Mugon Kingdom versus Ecliptos in the second set, and we have Crusaders versus TKT in the first match. TKT's got a lot to work with. Sorry, doesn't have got a hard fight. They got a hard fight. Crusaders being the reigning champion for many seasons now. I definitely do believe that these guys are going to rock some shit. TKT really got to probably one of the stronger teams. I do think Ecliptos got what it takes to challenge Crusaders as well. Mugon Kingdom will probably be eliminated first one out from the losers bracket. So remember that since we are on the second set, quote unquote second set, sorry, we're in the finalists. We got a lot of people ready to, well, not ready to. We have a losers bracket, which allows the losing team from now on to have a second chance, or second life at the game. Gonna have plenty of opportunity for a underdog, but I do believe that ultimate winner will still be Crusaders. Crusaders being quite strong, being the best of the best that you will ever see, and never again will there be another. Really do give Crusaders a lot of credit, but that's due to how strong they really are. They're crazy, crazy strong. And I do not believe that there are very many teams here in the the Asia Pacific to challenge them, or that can challenge them, even in the slightest. And that is all due to my respect to Crusaders here. But nonetheless, we still gonna have to wait.
Welcome back to the
semi-finals of the Asia Division.
Asia Division, yep. And
Whoopsie daisy. Sorry about that, folks. I forgot to turn off the Twitch one. But yes, hopefully we get to see a good match nonetheless. Do really hope. Do really hope TKT can take a win from Crusaders, but we're going to have to wait and see whether or not they are capable, because it's going to be a battle. Tough one indeed. I wish them luck, but let's have a look, see what are the pick bans coming up very soon, shortly. Should be soon. But nonetheless, my name's Azakai, and I hope you guys enjoy the stream, because I assure you I do love commentating for these tournaments. Be right back. I'm going to grab some fast water. Da ba da, da da da, da da da. Hey! Alright. Pick band phase right now. Real quick. Alrighty, we have Crusaders banning out Heilong Fjord. Not the first time they banned it out. Probably won't be TKT going out huge with a ban on Wolfort. My goodness. Gonna be an interesting battle. Not on Wolfort, at the very least. If I do have to say, the fact that TKT is coming out huge with the Wolfort ban means that it's probably... Yeah. Harbour City! I thought so. Crusaders went for the Harbour City. Again, like, you notice your trend. You got most people going to, being gravitated towards Harbour City or Wolfort. So if Wolfort gets banned and Harbour City's up, you know that they're going for Harbour City. And yet again, we got a double Harbour City coming out. Probably going to be a little bit more interesting since tactics could have changed. It's been a while since Harbour City has been the real focus. Sometimes it comes out very strangely for people who are attacking or defending in awkward positions, now to say. But nonetheless, we do have a wall fort, and it's going to be interesting what they plan to do. I probably have to agree with you on that one. Going to be very hard, realistically, to kind of make Crusaders falter. Having one good map and having a second good map. Yeah, Wall Fort, primary map. Harbour City, definitely a great second. I won't doubt that Crusaders does have a good record for Harbour City, and it's still just going to be down to how TKT deals with it. Forcing Crusaders to choose whether or not Harbour City or Wall Fort, so they force them into the Harbour City. Could have been a ban for Harbour City instead, but then again, you know that Crusaders would have picked Wall Fort in the first place. We got Wall Fort coming right up. Couple of spears, 4, 2 muskets, 3 pikes. Interesting to see that so many pikes are out on the field. We have 3 pikes also for TKT. One just swapped just now. A little bit of mid-maxing. We got which one? Legolas? Lanzi is playing a mole. Man, Lanzi normally playing a longbow the last time I saw him. Does look like it's going to be a little bit mid-maxy for the unit lineup. We got double tier 4s and triple tier 4. I mean, double tier 5s and triple tier 4s coming out. Not too unexpected, but 2 people from Crusaders, kind of strange. 1 tier 5, 1 tier 4, 1 tier 2, and a 1 tier 5, 1 tier 4, and a 1 tier 3. I think that is a cataphract. I'm very surprised that the Crusaders are using cataphracts. Let's see if they can use them to great effect. Let me repeat that. Let's hope they can use them to great effect. I am having a snack just before I collapse due to exhaustion. Metallic doors being available for the Crusaders, interesting choice. Whoa, Treb immediately. Does look like something got built. Goes down. A kind of a good trade, actually. You think so? Man, I don't know. Mugun Kingdom seems like a really, really bad bet. I really don't think Mugun Kingdom really has what it takes. Not from their previous performance, at the very least. Ecliptos doing very well, but at the same time, I have to give them less credit due to the fact that they didn't seem to have very much pressure against the enemy, and both sides made a lot of mistakes. Or mistakes in my eyes. Trading Trebs for Culverins, not a bad idea. You got 15 Trebs, the defender's team's got 15 Culverins, and for sure, it's a very powerful tool, but when you're trying to push the wall on Harbor City, it's going to be very easy for the defending team to all in it on the wall and destroy those siege towers. Although TKT does seem to be struggling hard. This is the first time I've ever seen this setup, a ballista being set up here. Axe Raiders gonna get caught. Oh, takes out a couple of Iron Reapers. Does look like Crusaders doing their best to try to deal some damage. Iron Reapers semi? Oh, nah. I don't think. I don't think. Oh no, we got 3 Axe Raiders dropping from that one. That's kind of bad. That's a bad exchange. We lost 1 Iron Reaper for Crusaders. Good pickup from TKT. Small skirmish there on the left side wall. I mean, the small gate. Small gate not being too important in most cases, but definitely a great pickup early on. Small pickups could lead to a landslide victory in the end. But we will see. We will see. TKT still surviving on the wall, destroying all 3 siege towers in the meantime. I don't think we got to destroy the destruction. Crusaders on the ball, though, pushing all 3 siege towers simultaneously. We also got some mortars putting some pressure on top of this wall. Still taking out those mortars, trying their very best to get these siege towers on the wall. But once it hits around the 8-minute marks, if these 3 gets destroyed, I really, really suggest a different plan of action. Really need to force your way into the city once you hit the 8-minute mark. Crusaders put in some pressure with some ladder climbs. I think they're not too confident with the heroes, although I have seen the Jewel Blades do magic on these walls before. Heavy concentration on the right-hand side, so left-hand side siege tower probably got benefit of the doubt. Could get up. Muskets doing their best to slow down Crusaders. TKT's best idea is to avoid battle as much as possible, and that is what's happening. Crusaders looking for a different avenue. Very good job. Early as well. Just before the 8-minute mark, they are pouring in through this left-hand side. Whoa! Did they predict this or did they see this coming? TKT does a massive retreat right off the wall. Not even close for the wall defense. They fall back, in fact, letting Crusaders take the wall very easily, in fact. We got them retreating out from the left-hand side. Does look like positioning here could be key. A lot of time wasted. Quite a bit of time wasted. I mean, realistically, only 1 set of siege towers got destroyed, so not the best. Shield Maidens kapow. I didn't see a Shield Maidens did one. Could have been my eyes. What do you see that I don't? Right now, Crusaders are scouting across the wall here. TKT is set up semi to the right here. Do you need help? You guys need help? Okay. Hello. Thank God nothing much has happened since I did take my eyes off the battle for a few minutes here. Or probably for a couple of tens of seconds. Ooh. Not a single map. The only engagement we got was the Axe Raiders, Keshiks versus the Iron Reapers. Right now, a lot of scouting, trying to doing something at the very least. Ballista shooting towards a Culverin. Culverin not successful in destroying the Ballista. Not the best. Wow, we got Metallitor shooting at point blank. Not really many hits on target. Whoop, looks like the Ballista heading in through. I mean, when we going to have this kind of strong LA team? Man, I don't know. English team? Maybe. It's going to be a long time before we have an English team this strong. TKT being extremely decisive in their setup. Letting go of the wall, probably an interesting choice. But I think it's very successful. Crusaders not being very confident. They're letting the time tick down. We're seeing a massive switch as well. Crusaders also moving up onto the left-hand side. We got plenty of infantry moving up. Not much cavalry. We got one cataphract, in fact. Cataphract probably being buffed in the recent weeks, but not really seen them being terribly effective. We got some Keshiks as well. How many sergeants? Not veteran. That's very strange. Normally you would see one line or the other. I believe bottom line's more preferable. A little bit slow, cameraman. We got a rush towards the inside here. Crusaders is going to make a break for the left-hand side. They did see that TKT does seem to be heavily on the right-hand side, expecting a right-hand side push, but unfortunately, TKT did not have scouts on the left-hand side door and fails here really hard as Crusaders push up here on the left-hand side. This could be a complete collapse of the defending side. We also have three guys locking up the defending side on Winged Stars coming right through, but gets stopped. Axe Raiders being thrown in. TKT doing very well right near her on the stairs. They have the massive advantage, but the Fortebraccio moving just slightly gets knocked down. Come on, pull back. Stairs is very bad for pole arms. No advantages. Cataphrax comes in from the side, but gets completely stonewalled by the supply point. But it comes cleaving through the backside. That's not good. Not good at all. TKT also losing out. But, I mean, TKT losing out. Plenty of heroes! Holy cow! How many heroes just dropped? I think just 9 heroes just dropped out of the sky here. That flank by the Keshik probably just slaughtered them all. Not good, not good. Really need to get your asses over there. Crusaders doing a very good job. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see them, but the Crusaders doing Crusaders on the other side doing very well. Doing very well, holding back most of the tide, but one by one, they come in. Crusaders grabs the supply point right now. This is not looking good for TKT. TKT, much as your effort has gone in, your weakness of scouting was the fact that no one was on the left side door. You didn't see anything. TKT really needs to set up for a massive squeeze. They need to stop. What? Can they keep touching it? You've already lost the right-hand supply point. If you do not get this left-hand supply point, you will lose. You need a touch. You need a touch. Here comes another Treb. Beautiful Treb if it lands. I think it will. And and it's going to hit hard right on the Fortebraccio at the back. Takes massive amounts of damage, but the tide is not turning. Massive oh my goodness, respawn for Crusaders. They also on the base point. The losses are incredible. Both sides losing massively, but Crusaders are firmly in the city and going to be the first ones to reach the base point as TKT, the defending side, barely makes it over there. They got some heroes, but no units. Keshig's coming in for the slaughter. No, Keshig's meet other Keshigs. Both Keshigs bash each other to death. I'm not sure who's going to win at the present time. Does look like TKT does successfully push off. My goodness, Crusaders being very smart. Pulls their attack, not staggering in one at a time. Losing one Keshig. Trying to capitalize on the retreat. Catches one short sword. Although the short sword tries his very best. He's still very tanky and very hard to take down. Down he goes. TKT could be outstretched here, but Crusaders going for another left-hand side push could be critical. Unfortunately, no. We don't get to see a Crusader push, but my goodness! Did you see how many heroes dropped from TKT at an instant? Whoa, Keshig's coming in huge at a beautiful time. Beautiful time. Coming in from the rear. Cataprex also doing quite well, even though they were kind of scuffed. They coming in through the, kind of snaked around the banner, not really going straight for the medallions, but cleaned off, kind of chipped off the back half, which could be very important, because if the back half gets shaved off, the Keshig flank was even bigger. Unfortunately, I think the remaining medal was unfortunate. Getting left with the bag, and they had to fight off against so many heroes by themselves. Here comes another Treb, down to just some surf units. We got Winged Hussars just clearing on through. Slams right into a bunch of Village Watchmen, trying not to let them get away. Village Watchmen versus Village Watchmen. Actually, no, those are Demez Pikemen. Demez Pikemen trying to poke your higher tier units. Probably not a good day for them. Winged Hussars and Tundra Humans going to charge in through the center. Gets halfway stopped by an Imperial Pike March, but Winged Hussars coming out huge. I didn't even realize how much cavalry they're coming out through. Tundra Human is aiming for a cleanup, but lands right into a fortified position of Medals. A little bit scattered there, as bits and pieces are completely routed. Medals holding as strong as they can, but the Axe Raiders are beating them. For as long as their passive are clicking, the Axe Raiders are basically second to none in terms of tankiness and damage, but another massive drop by the heroes. Masterfully done coming out from Crusaders, kicking off with a mass hero kill, not to mention winning the battle in general. Whoa, what a Crusaders play. Brutal by Crusaders there. I do not think a direct confrontation is ever in the favor of the enemy team against Crusaders, but my goodness. Catching TKT off guard for the left-hand side supply point, coming in through the left-hand side small door. In fact, Crusaders really capitalizing on the weakness of their enemies. I'm not sure how they knew that the left side door was unmonitored, but I do think that it was TKT's fault for not even having anyone watching that place. The Cav play definitely coming in strong, mainly for the fact that just the sheer amount of cavalry. My goodness. Cav after cav after cav at the very end, but Keshigs, wow, doing super well for the flanks. I think I've never seen a Keshig just slaughter one whole group of heroes, much like Crusader does. Looking at the score here, not doing too badly. TKT is still holding their own in the infantry battle. Do mind me, sorry. I will cut this out just for a split second. As you can see, quite a few hitting above the 350 mark, which is quite adequate when I'm talking about these CBL teams. But when you hit over the 700 mark, that is when you're hitting above and beyond and doing work. Crusaders, though, my goodness, dropping heroes like crazy. TKT, I thought you'd be a little bit stronger and maybe able to return some kills on Crusaders, but that didn't seem to happen. Unfortunate for TKT. TKT losing the defense, probably probably their best chance of a victory. An attack here now on Harbor City seems going to be very difficult, I would say, for TKT. Crusaders pulling off a master play by catching the entirety of TKT out of position. But not to mention the out of position play, Crusaders, even when the response came in, it wasn't a direct confrontation. Crusaders looking for those gaps in the defenses and hitting the flanks. Good play, good play. Harbor City, yep. It's the Keshigs are frightening. I mean, I gotta hand it to the devs. They made the Keshigs absolutely terrifying nowadays. Medal's no longer just ass blast the Keshigs into oblivion. They now slaughter. They now have the ability to slaughter Medals if Medals are not careful. Could be a mistake in balancing, could not. I'm wondering whether myself I think Keshigs are too strong, or whether or not Medals are too strong. I think it's a bit of both. I think they're too strong for different reasons. But nonetheless, we got the second battle between TKT versus Crusaders. Crusaders, again, give them the benefit of the doubt that they are basically going to be undefeated here. TKT, I thought you are a strong team, doing good plays. In fact, the call for a massive withdrawal from the wall. Very interesting call. I'm not sure if it worked out. I mean, it didn't work out in the end, but interesting call. Definitely wasting a lot of Crusaders' time before the primary engagement started to kick off. I think if they could have maintained the kind of pressure on all fronts and made sure to monitor Crusaders at all times, Crusaders would have been more skeptical on whether or not to confront TKT on an open field. Again, Crusaders catching TKT off guard there with the left-hand side push was probably a rookie mistake. But at the same time, TKT responded quite well, in fact, to the push and did not falter even for a second. Because normally when I see a left-hand side success for the supply point, the attackers have all the advantages and I have never seen the attackers lose the supply point without getting at least some of the base point. And again, as it's shown, that base point was under pressure by the time they got that supply point back. Unfortunate that the right-hand side did not capture it fast enough, but masterfully done by those three. I saw it on the minimap, those three Crusaders holding off around about 5, maybe 6 TKTs, but that also gives credit to those that were fighting on the left-hand side from TKT, holding off quite a few Crusaders as well. Hopefully we get the next battle very shortly. Harbor City coming right up for TKT, attacking this time. So Crusaders going to be on the defending side. Let's see how TKT handles an attack against a defending Crusaders. Crusaders this time going to probably be patient. Going to use those artilleries. Definitely seen more artillery plays now than ever since Medals have rocked up. Medals are freakishly strong and very difficult to beat up with just heroes. Artillery does massive amounts of damage and definitely can break formations. They are the linchpin in terms of emplacements. Really breaks up the monotony of full-on infantry front battles. But at the same time, we got some cavalry plays coming out with the Keshig slaughtering the Medals. We'll have to wait and see whether or not Medals or Keshig seem to get a toned down. Medals and Keshig doing kind of too much work at the current time. I do believe Keshigs are overtuned, and I still believe that Medals are overtuned. Axe Raiders as well. I believe they're overtuned for different reasons. They've got too much abilities, too many benefits, and the benefits are too strong for each of them. But let's not talk about the units that we already know about. Let's talk about the units that we just saw today. If you guys were here at around about 6 o'clock, we got to see the Claymore preview, the Claymore unit preview. Oh my goodness. They've got a good charge. By the looks of it, they got a charge. They got a free attack ability. That means when you activate it, they will attack directly in front of them. And then they also have a buff. But it did say that it also buffs friendly units, so maybe it's a defensive buff. I do believe it's going to be a defensive buff, so we got 2 units with a defensive buff. This is going to be pretty insane if they stack. Imagine having Bagpipes, the Claymore unit, and the Shield Maidens. What a tough combo. Zid1, did you know that Axe Raiders gain HP the more they get hit when they have a second passive. So they have two passives. So one passive is that when they get hit, when they're below 65% health, every time they get hit, they get more defenses. A second passive is um, that they every time they get hit at a certain point, they will heal. So you can put those two together, you've basically got a healing tank that gets stronger. They have a third passive as well, which increases their damage. Not particularly sure how that works, but I do remember they also have an armor shred. That also is a thing. Axe Raider's got too many passives. I really don't keep up with all of the things. I think the armor shred and the damage increase works together in using their abilities, because if I think you activate double throw, their next throw is an armor shred, but they also gain bonus damage. Ugh, just Axe Raider's completely busted. OP busted. Just because of a lot of things. They're not. The thing is that they're not strong enough to just deal with Iron Reapers and Medals straight up. But having a very quick look, doesn't look like a big change for the lineup for Crusaders. But Crusaders still coming out with some interesting Bow Cavalry. Still the Keshigs. Again, I'm wondering why the Tier 5, Tier 4, Tier 2. Normally 2 Tier 5s is the best way to go. One person coming out with the Tier 5, Tier 4, and Tier 3. Going in with the 6 triple tier 4s and the 9 double tier 5s. Lots more short swords. No, short swords are still the same. Pikes. Looks like 2 of the muskets did disappear from TKT. TKT probably choosing the spears in order to pound out some of the things. Nope. For as long as I know, Axe Raiders didn't get a nerf. Technically. The only nerf that I did hear is that apparently there was a bug that caused Axe Raiders to have their passive trigger twice. What was happening was that at 80%, I think at 80% their passive would, not 80%, at 65% their passive would work, and then again it would trigger at 50%, some kind of overlapping effect, making it much more difficult to kill Axe Raiders. Their performance right now also, they're a little bit easier to kill than before, but they're still very much difficult to kill. That bug fix did come in. I think they got a little bit stronger as they fixed the cold steel passive, which if you went bottom line, increasing the passive by 2 seconds. So that did happen. But nonetheless, Axe Raiders being very dominant, very stupidly powerful. Only Iron Reapers and Medals even have a chance at beating them up. Not so much Royal Janissaries. Royal Janissaries do struggle on so many aspects when dealing with things that have way more stun resistance or just CC resistance, CC immunity in general, and damage compared to Royal Janissaries. Royal Janissaries do have that 30% damage resistance when they activate an ability, but really cannot compare to the straight up tankiness of a passive that if you get hit, you get stronger. Taking less damage every time you get hit. Probably one of the most scariest defensive buff, because it is infinitely scaling. For my knowledge, there is no limit to it. I do believe there is a limit to the heal, but I'm pretty sure that gonna be hard to say. This coming out from Crusaders is not unsurprising. Crusaders actually forsaking the A completely and just using the normal stuff. I mean, just using the natural spawn for the artilleries. Apparently, Zid1, you're saying there are 2 poleaxes. I didn't catch that coming out from Crusaders, but probably to deal with the pesky to deal with the pesky pikes. I do believe that the poleaxe will be pretty good with that rough justice, slamming them into the ground. Crusaders' setup is very much quite unique. As you saw before, probably very different from TKT, which had a massive setup here on the right-hand side and had quite a few people up through the center, but no one on the left-hand side. So how Crusaders respond once they see a massive unit heading towards a location will be interesting. I wouldn't doubt it. Lancy does play quite a few weapons. I don't think I did see him play longbow for a long period of time, but I do think the changes to the weapons have been the main focus, swapping between poleaxe and some of the heavy armor class. A little bit flexible, Lancy. Although I would be able to recognize other names if I read kanji, but I don't. Very unfortunate. Got ballistas coming out. Probably going to pressure that cauldron. We've got a mortar coming out from Crusaders, so they did predict some artilleries. So this is the skirmishing phase of the battle. Whether or not each hit is successful, we will see. TKT really gotta weigh their options here. They know they're gonna have to fight Crusaders for every inch of space here in the city. And not only that, the longer they stay without a supply point or without ground, Crusaders can definitely purge them. She wants to play. Top line Imperial Pikes, no bottom line Imperial Pikes. Trying to do as much damage as possible, probably. Not in the zone to tank, since natural tankiness is not really the aim of the game anymore. You gotta do as much damage as possible. And when you compare the damage from top line Imperial Pike versus bottom line Imperial Pike, it is marginal, but it does have an effect overall. If you can slap a Medal 1/2 a second faster, that's a Medal that you don't have to deal with. But TKT doing a scout in. We got quite a few units heading towards the left-hand side. Does look like Crusaders is forcing them to do a left-hand side play. Moving up towards the center, this right-hand side group does move. We have one hero, Crusaders scouting out. There could be a call any second now. We're going to have 4 guys here from TKT, 5 guys here from TKT. Got to probably deal with so many guys. We got probably 7 here in the center, 8 in fact. This Treb, if they can hold them there, could be massive. Unfortunately, they evacuate the situation, and most of it dodges. Nicely done. But the route here in the center is quite fast, forcing the entirety of the center just pushed right out. I think 2 of them just dropped or got escaped early. Lots of Medals being sacrificed. And what do I see here? I mean, the heck just happened? TKT is being grouped up there on the left-hand side, pushing right through the defending side. One goes down. But here comes a massive flank coming up through behind. Probably not going to let anyone through. Crusaders not defending the right-hand side, so it is a sacrifice push. TKT actually gets the supply point. My goodness, they probably have enough time for a setup. I'm actually very surprised at what happened just now. Setup is happening. Pushing. This is not good. Retreating units. Do not change your units if you have units still. Fight with the units you've got. Every single unit that is swapped out gets slaughtered. Getting slaughtered by the defending team right now. But my goodness, this is the exact same thing that happened to TKT, but now reversed to the Crusaders side. A lot of the players getting locked up in the center just by a couple of guys. Crusaders gonna have... Wow! Both teams just doing the exact same thing to each other. Does look like attacking is much more easier here on the Harbor City. No wall defenses doesn't force the enemy to fight on the wall is probably a mistake. Keshik just cleaning out Crusaders. TKT actually does it and wipes Crusaders out for the defending side. will call the victory for TKT. So it will come down to a field battle. Very interesting indeed. I'm gonna give you a nice round of applause there. TKT, very well done. Although it was very similar to how Crusaders executed a little bit slow and very exposed. I'm pretty sure Crusaders responded disproportionately to how TKT attacked. But nonetheless, 5 guys in the center takes on 7 guys from the side, leaving 10 versus 8 up through the left-hand side. Brilliantly done from TKT, being able to take that supply point. Again, taking that supply point is everything. And then being able to crush Crusaders in a direct confrontation, even if they have 2 very fast, differently compared to what happened before. Lanzi playing the poleaxe, in fact. Indeed. Gonna switch off the marks just for a second so you can see the score from Crusaders. Crusaders scoring very low. Only 1 true engagement the entire battle. So obviously you get to see some low scores, but still some people hitting above and beyond. We got the 350, 354, and the 558 coming out from Crusaders. Although it really does show you how how it works for Harbor City. You have to respond equally to the attackers. When you respond disproportionately in a fashion that's advantageous for one person, because again, coming up through the center, 5 guys coming in from TKT, but 8, maybe 7 guys coming out from Crusaders wash them up pretty fast, in fact, but not fast enough as the 10 guys left from TKT coming up right through Crusaders, slamming onto that supply point, crushing the defenders on that supply point, grabbing that supply point in the end. All the advantages given to the attackers in that situation. That supply point on the left is a death sentence. So the fact that it comes back down to that fact, TKT actually brought back the supply point gives me confidence that TKT might just kick Crusaders out here. Just might. So we'll see. TKT the best? Alright. Apparently Zid1 is going for TKT. I was going for Crusaders at the beginning. Let's keep going for Crusaders until the very end. Let's see who's going to be victorious in this tiebreaker. We've got Grassland Assault coming up very shortly for Crusaders versus TKT. And I'm going to grab another drink. I'll be right back. Oh, thank you. Alright. Dare not buy. Talking about food, by the way. Oh my god, that's heavy. Whew. very exciting today. Always good to see two high-level teams fight off against each other, and realistically, I think Harbour City is very much more interesting, mainly due to the fact that Harbour City really can show you how tactics and strategy can make or break a team. Obviously, watching very closely here, that is what happened. Just obviously coming down to how the setup came down in the end. I think overextending either side or overcommitting too many forces to one or the other battle really was a detrimental factor. But then again, I think also it was a inexperience from both teams. Been a while since Harbour City did come out, so I think a lot of teams prepped for Wolfort. So TKT's strategy of banning Wolfort could have probably been the biggest factor. Not seeing Wolfort coming out from both of these teams means that uh, I think TKT actually has been banning out Wolfort the entire time. So really taking away everyone's biggest expectation of a Wolfort ban. Uh, really probably messed a lot of people's strategy up. And I think also Crusaders hamming themselves up because Heilong Fjord is, well, maybe not actually. Heilong Fjord probably one of the better maps for other people rather than Crusaders. Crusaders does seem to have a little bit of a struggle on Heilong Fjord, but they have done it. They have successfully attacked and successfully attacked before. I'm going to actually turn off the air conditioning real quick. Sorry for not replying. Oh wait, Mel already went? Did Mel already go in? Did Mel already go in? You know, honestly, I don't know what's taking so long for the field battle to start off. Going to be quite interesting indeed. Mm-hmm. Still waiting for the TKT versus Crusader battle. Going to be the tiebreaker on Wall Fort. Not Wall Fort, sorry. Grassland Assault. Me goodness. Me goodness. Come on. What is happening? Takes 6 minutes right now. Ah, yeah. Grassland. Just Grassland. No longer called Grassland Assault. They simplified it to just Grassland. That's right. I kind of wanted to... I don't like Emerald River at all. I never like watching Emerald River. Oh, man. If Crusaders... if Crusader loses this, they still have a chance in the underdogs, but it's not the first time Crusaders came back through the underdogs. I mean, I mean, the last time Crusaders was in the lower bracket was because they apparently, or, I mean, I was told that apparently Crusaders hated Christmas Sale so much that they went into the lower bracket to make sure that they did not win. Top 3? Oh my goodness. TKT? I don't think TKT was top 3. I can't remember what the top. Maybe. I mean, like... Let's think about this carefully. If you lose, like, if you win, you have to play the same amount of battles if you lose as well. So, I mean, like, in the top 4, either win or lose, you get into the next battle. And if you lose, you go down. So, you will fight the loser of the first battle and loser of the second battle. So, if you lose, you're playing more battles in the end. Maybe you come out with more experience. Who knows? But here we come in with a grassland. About time, if I do say so. My goodness. We're cutting in a bit close here, as 12 minutes to go until the next set of battles is scheduled to start, but Grassland Assault should be quite quick and decisive. Well, I hope it... Oh, my brain's just on mush right now, as I did the opposite of what I was supposed to do. Looking very closely at the number of spears, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or did I count wrong? 8 spears, 2 pikes, 4 pikes, and 6 spears coming out from either side. My goodness, still coming out with the 4 short swords. Could come down to a point hold. Those 4 short swords will be very useful. But as we've seen before, Crusaders are very good at killing heroes. Coming out with lots of medals first. My goodness, how many medals are coming out first from TKT? Also, Crusaders coming out with so many medals. TKT going out with flat double tier 5. Thank you, Zid1. Interesting setup for Crusaders here. A little bit of a mix. Crusaders going for a safe approach. Triple approach coming in from TKT. Maybe sacrifices the A and goes straight. Yeah, looks like a triple approach. They're going to have a battle here at this B point, as well as a massive battle here at the A point. I mean, C point. Let's see if they pull off. Where are the Keshigs? The Keshig should have been the first one in, followed by the Winged Hussars. Unfortunately, they do pull back very, very awkwardly. I do not know what TKT planning to do if they don't keep pressuring the B point here. They need to keep resetting that B point. C point gets captured. A point's about to be captured for TKT. TKT spreads out massively, but we got so much medal coming up for the C point here. A chase is happening. Keshig versus Winged Hussar. Winged Hussar's charge might be out now. Apparently it wasn't. Swings around very awkwardly. Oh, no, I take that back. Looked like a Keshig and a Winged Hussar was chasing a Keshig. The medals finally make it onto the approach. Does look like Crusaders does a full surround here on the C point. Getting captured TKT, what are you doing? Letting the base go here. Battle at the B point and battle at the C point ongoing, so no one from TKT is available to stop this point. Actually, I take that back. Looked like the guy from the supply does make it towards the base point, but Crusaders has secured absolute advantage right now, meaning even if they lose this battle here at the B point or C point, doesn't look like that's happening though. Both sides losing. TKT just getting absolutely slapped right now on both sides. So many Medals getting surrounded and killed. These Medals getting... Oh, never mind. Looks like a victory here on the B point in the end. My goodness. Looked like a couple of Keshi coming from the side versus the Winged Hussars that came up through the center. Crusaders will have an open base in a few seconds. Doesn't look like TKT has anyone moving up to a forward position to get some cap points out. Got to equalize the situation right now, but it's a little bit dangerous for TKT, losing a massive amount on both battles, losing outright on the C point, but the B point looks to be a more of an even exchange. Winged Hussar going to force their way through. Not even a charge, just waltzed on through, slaying a couple of the Medals, but in the end, the Medals... couple of Medals hold strong. The B point not captured. I didn't realize the B point actually not captured. So TKT still on the back burner for now. Lots of Winged Hussars coming out. Keshig might come through with a slash. Does sort of, but very awkward. Winged Hussar going for the Keshig. Something stops it. I'm not sure what stopped it, but Northern Lands Cavalry on the field. Whoa, my goodness. Interruption about to trigger. B point does seem to be highly contested. Crusaders being very annoying here with an A point. If a triple cap does happen, that's going to be absolutely brutal for TKT. TKT doing not very well. Does not seem to have the initiative at all here on the field battle as the base point A point is open. But we see a turnaround for the B point. Turnaround for the B point means that open sesame for Crusaders base point right now. Crusaders base point is open. So Crusader is kind of in an awkward situation, but we have the Jewel Blade coming up from Crusaders, coming up with Medals. Unfortunately, he puts on a lot of pressure here at the A point, but unfortunately, he can't secure. Without a secure, the rest of the team can keep on going. It's a 2v1 though, so if his team can regroup and force a victory here, could be massive. Keshig's coming in through that Medal, slashing them down. Look at them fall. Medals were a bit occupied with the Medals in front of them, so when the Keshig comes in from the side, it was absolute victory. TKT finally solidifies their position with an A-B cap, but unfortunately they are down 17 points of cap. So we're going to see whether or not TKT can get some points off. It's either going to be a triple cap or a base assault. Going to have to bring it down to the wire, leaving Crusaders no chance of a return, just in case they do get that caps off. But the problem is that if you don't start the battle at the right time, you could run out of time to even get those cap points. I've seen it before. Very, very close. Both teams were fighting for just the sliver of cap points. With the closing of the base point, TKT is safe to fully commit to the front line now without a base point to worry about. Keshig's not going for the Pike Militia. Very strange indeed. Not even going for the Bow Riders. Definitely would clean up some of the weaker units first before I go for the strong center. But nonetheless, does look like TKT does slaughter the remaining Crusaders. Why are you being so aggressive is my question right now. Cataphracts coming in from the side. Look at that turn. I love it. Coming in with the drive-by. Crusaders catching one more hero. Heroes are very important. Every single loss is a detriment. could swing massively to one or the other side if there are some permadeath on the field. TKT holding the C point. Unsupported Medals, but it is against some Keshig. Keshigs seem to get out. Crusaders absolutely smacking these Medals. Very surprising, in fact. Crusaders still has units to respond. I don't know why Crusaders being a bit aggressive here, but I don't know what TKT is going to do either. They may have the AB points, but without a triple cap or a base cap, they are still guaranteed to lose. So, advantage for TKT, but looking at the units, a little bit shaky. About 76 units for Crusaders. Crusaders also looking a little bit thin, though. We still have one person dead. Not sure what he's doing. Sleeping on the job. Really need every single player up on the field to secure victory for Crusaders. TKT finally makes their approach. Clocking down to 4 minutes. Not enough time to defeat Crusaders outright, so a base push is futile. But nonetheless, Crusaders will have to respond to a base push, but they don't. But they might be a little bit lax for a response for a C push. Cavalry coming in from the side. A nice sweep on the rear. Swinging back around. The Medals brace up, but a complete rout in the center. Really did come down to the fact that the unit quality and the number of units coming in was mostly towards the C point. But most of the heroes here at the center cleaning house. TKT has advantage. 2 heroes advantage right now. A lot of the heroes there at the C point. TKT could win just by slaughtering the heroes. If all of the heroes are kicked off the battlefield, that might be massive. But unfortunately, Keshig sweeping on through. Slaughters 1, 2. Do they get a third one? Where they going? Crusaders comes back with a big swing in heroes just now. What was an advantage is now a... that's in 2 minutes, technically. It should be the one next. Jewel Blade from Crusaders is perma? My goodness. Crusaders. They hold their victory right now. TKT. Very unfortunate. I'm going to have to call it there. I do not believe TKT has anything left in the bank right now. After a crushing defeat like that, again, it comes down to the fact that both teams were low on units, but the cavalry from both sides were crucial. We got some Keshig just sweeping out the low tier units, some Tundra humans still surviving as well. Even the Cataprex, I think only one person from Crusaders brings out the Cataprex, and he doing very well with the remaining of them. Pushing all the way in. They know they have the unit advantage. But look at that. Some Iron Cap Scouts getting slapped by Demez Pikeman. Keshig going in as well, but they also get trapped. Mass Pikeman slapping these guys down pretty easily. The risk here is going to base. Forces Crusader to respond. They had advantage. What they needed to do was draw out Crusaders into a pitched battle and make sure that the defenders were as far away from the points as possible. They still needed those cap points, so Crusaders could have been smart and made sure that they did not commit to a field, but they did. Crusaders committed to a center field. So next to the base point, they committed to a center field. I think this was to stop TKT from applying pressure in such a way that they could obtain an advantage, getting either the base point or the C point. The overcommittance for the C point here comes down to the fact that the center could not hold the battle long enough. So if they could have held the center long enough, they had a guarantee to make sure that those in the center held just a little bit longer. I think that a triple cap could have happened. I think TKT could have played it a little bit better, and a triple cap could have come out. But the Medaus from the C point was the real kicker. You don't find very many ways to deal with the Medaus quickly. The same with short swords. You can't. There's no real good way to kill them quickly. You can pin them down. You can CC them, but really damaging a unit as strong as Medaus, very difficult. So good play from Crusaders. Definitely good play from TKT. I am proud of TKT making Crusaders sweat here. Does look like the Jewel Blade did get permadeath. I'm not sure when, but apparently did one telling me he got permadeath kind of halfway through. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 permadeath. Even the top guy got permadeath by the end of it. But getting that 1,200, almost 1,300 unit kills. TKT also similar in performance, but permadeath also coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 permadeath coming out. I did see a prime come out from a while back. Thank you for the prime. But also the unit kills looking very similar, although it's a little bit lacking compared to the outstanding 1,300 kills, almost twice a warband. But the 1,000 and the 900 also doing amazing well, or 1.5 at the very least. When push comes to shove, I do believe Crusaders really had their work cut out for them. TKT doing an amazing job to make Crusaders sweat. Nothing I've really seen coming out from Asia Division pretty much ever. Crusaders has pretty much been uncontested in a lot of ways. Sometimes it comes down to that they're sloppy and really give up some major advantages. But Crusaders have not. I've not seen Crusaders in such a stressed spot before. But it also gives me pride in viewing and watching these teams. True or not, it is true. Crusaders of this generation is weaker than before. They do not hold the same dominance, whether or not the other teams from Asia are just getting better. I have heard that a lot of the old veterans from Crusaders are not the same, so I do believe there was some kind of changeover during the last 3 seasons. I do believe when the Vanguard when the Vanguard server came out for China mainland, I believe that is when a lot of the old-time Crusaders moved over. I do believe we'll get to see some of the old members come back for the Vanguard one, so we'll see them from mainland. So we'll see them from the international, well, what to say, cross-server tournament. So we'll get to see them then. Seems like we got a 5-minute clock. So, enough about Crusaders versus TKT. We have we have Mugun Kingdom versus Ecliptos. I'm pretty sure Ecliptos is gonna kill it here because Mugun Kingdom, out of your performance this tournament has been lacking and seriously need a lot of work. Ecliptos doing good work, but at the same time, some mistakes coming out from individual plays really shouldn't be happening. But I'll see you guys in about 3 minutes as I take a short break. I'll catch you guys in a minute. Wheels on the bus goes round and round, round and round, round and round. Wheels on the bus goes round and round all day long. Once you're out of better states on a mountain of beer, out of better space on a mountain of beer, out of better states on a mountain of beer. Welcome back, folks. So, we're gonna be still waiting for Cliptos versus Mugun Kingdom. I do think Cliptos gonna crush it here. We are a little bit we're a little bit behind schedule, mainly because a little bit of a break for the narrators, but I am here anyway for you, so yep. Oh, yeah, Zid one. Definitely looked like a good, Cliptos was in good shape last time we saw them. Been a while, though. We got to see them on the Monday. Been a while, but it's only been 2 days. So, whether or not they win, I do give them luck, both teams. But there can only be one winner. But they still have another chance. Losers bracket, do not forget. Wah, 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 wah. Should it be? Hmm. Apparently my internet went out. I'm still streaming, though. Nothing's happening, right? Ah, probably buffered. Imagine that. Cut out internet here. Ugh. Australian internet's shite. Then again, I have to go. Ugh. Can't you have better internet? No. No, we cannot. Yeah, mainly because, like, it just really sucks. Australia just sucks. It's just a huge continent with not lots of natural resources, but it's just like, we're gonna put these optic cables. You need to put in like 100 kilometers, probably hundreds of kilometers, maybe thousands of kilometers worth of fiber optic cables from one place to another. I can't imagine how expensive it is to actually outfit Australia with fiber optic cables, since I don't work in that kind of industry, and I am too lazy to actually calculate that. But nonetheless, we have the battle for Mugen Kingdom versus Ecliptos. Ban on the Harbour City. What do we get for Ecliptos? Mugen Kingdom banning Harbour City. Kind of interesting, since Ecliptos I've not really seen Harbour City come out from Ecliptos before. Linwu Fortress. I'm guessing Mugen Kingdom is going to go for a War Fort. Ecliptos might go for a Hailong Fjord. I'm guessing. This is my guess. Hailong Fjord comes out for Mugen Kingdom. Whoa! Don't change it around and say Ecliptos went for Wall Fort. Double Hailong Fjord coming out from both teams. I don't know what's wrong with Mugen Kingdom. I mean, like, Mugen Kingdom's failed on Hailong Fjord quite a few times, and they still attack it. Very interested to see why they're so confident on Hailong Fjord, or they're deliberately throwing it. Or maybe it is their strongest map. But nonetheless, we get to see a double Hailong Fjord. A little bit interesting, since we do get a little bit interesting, but we do get to see a lot of Hailong Fjords, so shouldn't be too unpredictable. But I hope these guys play. I hope these guys play dirty and do everything they can to win the game. Love to see those nice flanks. Love to see them strong defenses. And I mean, I did get to see a very interesting defense a long time ago, I think last season, of Hailong Fjord. A massive retreat towards the sea point and a destruction of all of the trebs on Hailong Fjord. Very easy to do. They're wide out in the open. Very easy to do, hard to execute. I've seen someone break through the defense once, and I've seen a failure of a hold on towards the sea point from multiple times from other people. Sea point after a devastating A and B point. My goodness. I know, right, Zidwan? Mugen Kingdom attacking Hailong Fjord. Are they deliberately trying to throw, or they actually think they're good at Hailong Fjord? Well, maybe they'll show me something different. Every time I've seen them on Hailong Fjord, it's a lot of mistakes. And I mean a lot of mistakes. It feels like a mistake. That's what I'm going with. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Mugen Kingdom is actually really good. It's just that the other team was better. Yeah, 4 times they played this in the tournament, and 4 times they've lost it. I know, right? They haven't won a Hailong Fjord yet. I was very surprised when they won their defense on Wolfort. But nonetheless, we have Hailong Fjord coming right up. Who's attacking first? Do tell me, Mr. Mysterious Screen. I saw a battlefield. Alrighty, we have Mugen Kingdom attacking first, so good luck to them. Also, good luck to Ecliptos. I am rooting for you, Ecliptos, so better beat these Mugen Kingdoms back to... Well, not really beat, but... No, beat. Very interesting Mugen lineup coming out with a Axe Raiders, Medal, and I believe those are Iron Cap Swordsmen, not the Rattan variant. Nearly every single one coming out from Mugen Kingdom coming out with a Medal, except one. Mugen Kingdom also coming out with a strange mixture. Again, whoa! Both sides coming up with very weird triple moles. I don't know why, but the short sword's unpredictable. I mean, like, double tier 4, double tier 5s is normally the sign of a frontal hold. They'll hold strong on one location. Interesting here is the number of Axe Raiders. Axe Raiders coming out with 5 Axe Raiders coming out from Ecliptos and 3 Axe Raiders coming out for Mugen Kingdom. I just wonder why the preference for the Axe Raiders and not the Medals, seeing that it was a tier 4, tier 5, and a tier 2. Also, the Ironcap Swordsman versus Pike Militia. Pike Militia should win in a pitched battle, but a devastating charge from Ironcap Swordsman could murder a hero, or definitely murder some unsuspecting unit. That shielded charge really has come into its own. Swordsmen are very useful, very good against pike units, especially charging into them nowadays. Though I have not seen them be used very much since Medals just slap that down. I don't know why. They invented a mechanic to only just create a unit that it completely ignores that. I'm pretty sure when they gave the Ironcap all of the shields, actually, all of the swords and shield units, the block while charging, they went, we're going to create a unit. We're going to create a pike unit, because they saw how pike units were handling swords and shield units just charging straight into them. They're braced, and their pikes are pointing towards them, but they take no damage, and they crash right into them, and pike units getting ass blasted while they can't attack directly in front of them. So they just create a unit that not only can attack directly in front of them, they can also use Lethal March, which just ignores block. Coming in through the small gate, Mugen Kingdom, coming out through the wall break, Mugen Kingdom going straight into a death sentence. Here comes an Iron Reaper charge. I think a Lethal March tried to go off, but the Iron Reaper's at the front just cleaves right in, clearing the path, getting in there. But Medals from on the left, awkwardly allowing the flood to come through. Really need to be careful here. The positioning from Ecliptos. What are you doing? Were they not prepared for this kind of swarm? One by one, both sides are pouring in through. We got a rear guard here blocking off the escape. But Ecliptos losing one hero after another, and a lot of units, in fact. Terrible engagement for the start for Ecliptos. Mugen Kingdom coming in huge, in fact. Medals getting crushed. Although that Medal is still holding strong. Ecliptos clears up most of what was at the front here. Just a lot of Medals. A trade, in fact. Too many people went back to deal with the one Iron Reaper and one Medal. Alright, it's all about rotation for now. But Ecliptos is looking a little bit thin on units. We got 2 Medals coming out for Mugen Kingdom. Mugen Kingdom definitely does seem to have the advantage. Ballistas are coming out. We got a Treb towards the stairs. Towards the bridge. Probably expecting reinforcements. You gotta move faster. Almost completely secured right now. Wow! This Ecliptos short sword doing work. Holding that as much time, but he gets picked up. What was that delay? Shot the grape shot at nothing. Ecliptos is barely hanging on by a thread, but those Iron Reapers cleaving right through the Medals. Biggest mistake out of Mugen Kingdom was the staggered formation. Once the pitch battle has begun, you got to make sure you win. Now fully on point. Ecliptos is looking strong, but so many Medals to chew through. I would take the slow approach, pull the Iron Reapers back, and wait for a recharge. Those 60-second cooldown abilities are your most powerful tool. And when they are raging, when they're stacked so hard, look at them stacking. Cleaving right in through the center here. One squad of Iron Reapers, 2 squads of Iron Reapers. Ecliptos is smashing. Those Iron Reapers coming out huge, but here comes more Medals to cleave that in pieces. Attrition is the worst enemy of any unit, and these Iron Reapers have been battling on maybe six medals, and wow, what a turnaround. Ecliptos absolutely crushing it. Mugun Kingdom, you had good victory at the beginning, but the extended battle did not turn in your favor. Too much reliance on the medals themselves to win against anything. But when you're facing up against Iron Reapers, the new Iron Reapers, about last season, they were not as strong as this. Well, to the end of the Iron Reapers, going towards the how good they were. But Iron Reapers definitely carrying the weight here. Heavy losses for both sides, though. Too much reliance on brute force. Mugun Kingdom doing a good job to beat out Ecliptos at the start. Unfortunately, carrying on is just not in their nature. They really do not know how to set up for a secure A, and definitely cannot take a pitched battle directly with force versus force. Now Ecliptos will be snaking in, training one by one. One Medal is about to fall. A Rattan Pikeman actually rocking up. I'm surprised that both sides are looking thin on units, but massive losses coming out for... Oh, here comes a slam dunk. Iron Reapers are cleaving their way through the center here. Medals as well as a lot of Surf units. Clear path through the center here. Ironcap Swordsman. We got some Keshigs gonna slice up the center here, but so much Keshig coming out from Mugun Kingdom, just destroying Ecliptos in this scenario. Both sides using cavalry to their advantage when no more medals are on the field. The critical minute is approaching. Mugun Kingdom is getting pushed out yet again, and they have a one hero advantage right now. We have rear charging Keshigs in the back here. Mugun Kingdom actually gets completely pushed out. This is victory for Ecliptos. I'm not sure what Mugun Kingdom can do. The Grape Shot's just blasting them in the face, but they have cover by... Yes, here they come back again. The problem here is that they didn't keep the Keshigs in the battle. There was plenty of Keshigs, but they didn't keep the Keshigs in the battle. Now the advantage is in Ecliptos' favor. They have 8 versus 8. But more units, more cannon fodder for the Keshig to eat up the Keshig's damage and to catch them. Ecliptos is doing well. Hero versus hero. It does look like Ecliptos is doing very well, holding just long enough. And as more heroes rock up, an advantage has been made. 2 heroes just went down for Mugun Kingdom. Looks like a 6v5 right now. Turns into an 9v5. And there we go. Victory for Ecliptos. The critical minute coming down. Whew. Very stupid play by Mugun Kingdom at the very end there. Send in the Keshigs. Return the Keshigs back. Very stupid. You had the Keshig go in. There was no one there. You thought no one was there. Heroes come in. They stopped you from getting the point. The Keshigs went in, should have looked and killed the heroes. There is nothing stopping you. There should be no reason to go back to a supply point to heal your units. The only reason you go back to the supply point to heal your units is because you're not confident that you're going to win that battle or a retreat has been called. Unfortunately, Mugun Kingdom, terrible play at the very end, but coming out big with the aggressive wall break, and again, a little bit of mistake coming out for how the setup was brought out. Hey, did one, you're telling me, Ofinodachi, look at this. Look at the score. 175 unit kills, 1,085 unit score. My goodness. Daddy Ajaz coming out huge, coming out the MVP out from Ecliptos. But definitely look at Ragnar and Fenrir doing the work with the hero kills. Again, hero kills are important, whether or not you were participating in defeating them or not. Hero kills are very, very important when you want to win in the CBL. Only 3 spawns. Only 3 lives. You die 3 times, you're out for good. But we still have one more Heilong Fjord to play. We got Ecliptos probably going to fight. We got Ecliptos fighting on the Heilong Fjord map. No, we got Ecliptos attacking on the Heilong Fjord map, and it will be interesting how Mugun Kingdom decides to defend. But nonetheless, we will see these two teams kick it off in the best of fashions, in a murderous rampage. Ugh. I wonder if Ajaz is going to be able to bring Nodachi all the way to the finals, or at least the semifinals. They'll make it to the semifinals. They'll beat Mugun Kingdom. Mugun Kingdom, although sometimes it looks like you're strong, you're just doing things very weirdly. Great attacking, great aggressiveness, but strangely weak play on the core units. I think the weak core is the detriment of Mugen Kingdom. If they could somehow fix their infantry play, if they could somehow fix up their front line, I think they would be amazing. I wonder if he goes toughness on Nodachi well in CBL. Me too! Unfortunately, we have no access to those stats. I could ask him. I mean, he's on the Discord. But nonetheless, will see. I will see whether or not. I have played Nodachi quite a while. I play half toughness, half armor, but I think a full toughness could go the distance in a CBL because the recent changes to Nodachi does really give them an ability to survive, unlike they survive in a fashion unlike any other class, mainly due to the fact that just straight up just straight up being able to just do what they do. It's amazing how Nodachi lifesteal kind of changes ever so slightly, and they just get out of control. I mean, I'll be honest, I was not expecting the changes to Nodachi to flip it as hard as it did, especially the changes to Blood Oath. Blood Oath and Blood Craze. Blood Oath, not so much for Blood Oath, because Blood Oath, refreshing Blood Craze was kind of hard to manage, but the +2 on the of the health drain, wow, that made certain combos really good. Because what I would do is that I would run Bloodthirsty, Tiger's Claw, Blood Oath, and Monstrous Blade. I'd run no ult for this one. The 3 attacks, super fast, really good to play with. The curved running attack, much better than the uppercut one, which had its weaknesses in narrowness, but now since the curve makes it much more of a catch than it is an attack. Although the animations are different, I do believe that the practicality of both of them didn't change very much. I think it really comes down to how the flow of Nodachi really changed from before. The attack speed on the normal attacks is probably the biggest and most probably the most impactful change to the Nodachi. I have like done running attacks into a triple basic so many times that it's literally become the norm of what I do when I play Nodachi, and it's just really, really good. On certain angles, you can achieve some bypassing of shields, but nonetheless, the running attack just ends up feeling better because of the angle it feels like it comes in, and you can really really be precise with the direction you're going with and how the swing lands. Unlike the uppercut one, which would always come out from the left-hand side, you can go left or right because the swing comes in, hits the right-hand side, and then comes in, hits the left-hand side. I really found it very difficult to strike units that will be on my right-hand side or attack units when I'm flanking them from the right. So it was very awkward when I was doing those kind of running attacks. I would always have to pivot to my right in order to do a catch with the uppercut running attack. But then again, if you just play with just play with hero assist on, you'll never miss anything. I know I'm handicapping myself, but I don't play with hero assist, like aim assist for heroes, so it will automatically target heroes with any skills you use. So it automatically centers the ability onto heroes, which in retrospect I have played with before. If you play with that with spear, you're basically God. It feels like you're cheating sometimes. You're better off turning it off for Pike, I think. Pike is a little bit finicky, and too much precision actually makes it miss some of its abilities. But sometimes it does hit more often than not if you turn it on. But I much prefer the freedom sometimes. Clipdos coming up with the triple Keshigs. Also triple Keshig coming out from Mugen Kingdom. But the surprising thing is, there's Mugen Kingdom switching to so many Axe Raiders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Axe Raiders coming out from Mugen Kingdom. Lots of Axe Raiders coming out from Mugen Kingdom. We got one Metallic Tor, double tier 5s mostly, but interesting that no triple tier 4s coming out from either side. A switch. Only Alice is playing Maul this time. We did see a triple Maul for both sides before, but now not so many. There are classes that benefit a lot from aim assist. There are classes that sometimes benefit, and then there's Pike, who either benefits greatly or benefits negatively. It's really funny. A literal class that is somehow negatively impacted at the same time positively impacted. It's funny because of just how it is. LA. So Hayes, Mugen Kingdom is from LA. Ecliptos is from DI. There are players from around the server, I do believe, originally. Oh, what the hell happened just now? Hey, buddy. You cut out on the clean feed on me, and you're going straight into the battle here. Ecliptos doing a little bit of a split. A triple ladder climb coming out from the B side, and a 4 people on the B side. Looks like 11 people here on the A side. Ecliptos loses top. Not sure where he died from, but does look like he died. Iron Reapers going up. Fresh kills. Who's gonna eat these yummy Iron Reapers? One ladder up. I don't know why a ladder climb came out from Ecliptos. Very strange. I think Ecliptos is hurting themselves here. What are they doing? I've honestly never think that you should ever wait for the battering ram to destroy this gate. You can literally hit it down if all 15 of you are smacking it. 10 of you could smack it faster than this battering ram can get to the damn... not 10. I'm pretty sure 5 heroes smacking this front door could break that front door faster than that battering ram gets to the damn door. A little bit of swing here, a little bit of swing there. Ecliptos moving up through the A point here. But Mugun Kingdom massively swung towards the center, towards the wall break on the A side. They have moved up using the Axe Raiders to throw towards the front gate. A big swing, though, as they claim this platform at the front gate on A point. Grape shot blasts Fjorda really hard. I'm pretty sure he's on low health. Probably doesn't want to die right now. Big hits come through. Wow, that is 4, maybe 5 Medal's dead. Okay, a little bit of a catch there, a little bit of a catch here. Massive retreat. Lots of Axe Raiders throwing like crazy. This is excellent skirmishing form coming out from Mugun Kingdom. But the unfortunate thing here is they're losing so much ground. Iron Reapers versus Axe Raiders there. I think the Axe Raiders just got chewed up as they were held by the Iron Reapers there. Doing very well in the skirmishing factor, but they're losing a lot of ground pressure as well. Mugun Kingdom is not standing their ground, so lots and lots of death happening. 2 people just died. Mike, what are you doing? Probably on the flank side towards the B side. Massive swap here. Alrighty. I think Ecliptos' best option is to rush it towards that harbor side. I think Mugun Kingdom is doing a massive retreat towards the sea side. Mugun Kingdom, not sure what you're doing, but still holding a slight edge. Very slight. Slight edge. Unit kills are heading towards Mugun Kingdom's favor as we swing over towards the sea point. Stay on the same side you captured on. If you're on the A side, straight towards the harbor side. If you're on the B side, straight up towards the sea. The worst thing you can do is go to A, B, and then back to A towards the harbor side. This is great form by Ecliptos. Not wasting any time capturing that point, getting this ladder up. Excellent approach here. This is a triple threat. This is like triple threat here. You've got this point here which goes towards the supply point. The ramp, call it the ramp. Then you have the main road approaching the sea. You hold that ground up the sea point. Excellent positioning because you cut them off the sea point from supply. So if you stay on the sea point and there's no one supplying you, you're dead. You're pretty much out. You're pretty much surrounded and cut off. Your best option is to control the defender's best option to control this center line, but that also gives Ecliptos the option to head up towards sea point through the waterway. But here we coming up, massive victory for Ecliptos, crushing the Medals with sheer numbers and Iron Reapers. A little bit of a loss, a sacrifice, in fact, of just 1 unit and a couple of Berserkers. These Berserkers are free, by the way. Looks like we got some Brassian Wild Flames throwing some pots down. Look at the burn come through. Keshig also gets hit. Keshig walks through, about to break through on the sea point. Mugun Kingdom not moving in is a mistake. Catching the tail here should have been your goal. If you didn't catch the tail, you lost so much ground right now. You lost a lot of advantages. A lot of your heroes here are pretty much going to be down and out. Big Treb, though, staunching the approach for Mugun Kingdom. Grab that C, grab that B. Let's move on. Ragnar moving back in for the battle. We got some Pike Militia here on the left. Ragnar by himself, though. He probably going to lose his Keshigs if he's not careful. The center of battle still rages on, swinging more in favor of Ecliptos, but at the same time, big hold for Mugun Kingdom, actually sacrificing units. Here comes some Iron Cap scouts. Why I don't understand the Iron Cap scouts, but then again, you got the Axe Raiders coming in. Triple Medal out on the field right now. Strongest holding unit you can ever have. Axe Raiders doing good work. Still holding that slight advantage, but it's still swinging towards Ecliptos. Ecliptos is a little bit thin right now, but look at the Ragnar kills. Look at the hero kills. We got Portabrush, we got Cataprax moving up now, but the Medals are barely holding, but they got support from more Medals. We got Halberdiers also rocking up. Reinforcing the front line. That's what you got to do. You got to hold this. Another Treb's going to come through. A little bit late, though. Medals do a lethal march straight into the main pile, but 2 sets of Keshiks are going to come in. This second set of Keshik should be huge. Oh, look at them slaughter. So many Medals actually trapped here in this tiny, tiny space. Oh my goodness. Defeat it. Crush it. Mughal Kingdom must be looking at some permadeath. I'm seeing so many heroes dying one by one, but at the same time, one by one, Ecliptos is dying as well. The battle hasn't ended just yet, but Ironcap Swordsman. Wow, a massive charge. Absolutely wiping the floor with 3 of the Medals. Even just 3 Medals getting killed by that is pretty huge. 12v12, and the unit numbers are very close together. So Mughal Kingdom should be closer to being out of high tier units than Ecliptos. Remember, coming out with these Axe Raiders, low unit number, but costly. So we should see some extra. Surf units along with the tier 2 coming out from Mughal Kingdom, but those Medals still holding strong. I wonder, yes, does get extra time by capturing the B point. Iron Reapers there on the right, pushing on through, but barely. I think the contact number is weak. That tree is definitely messing up some kind of AI, but those Iron Reapers are about to be whacked out of existence. Need to reform and push on a different angle. Lots of grape shots coming out, though. So this is a good position. Hold these Medals back. Watch the Mughal Kingdom throw units at you. We got some extra time with the B point capture. 2 extra minutes, I believe. 2 minutes for each of these points. Nice. Sun goes down for Mughal Kingdom. I think it's going to come down to the fact that there are no more heroes out for Mughal Kingdom. Keshik eats half of a charge of a Ironcap Swordsman. It's actually quite impressive. Mughal Kingdom, even though they were suffering so many trebs, so many good trebs in fact, they are still holding on. Mughal Kingdom might be able to run the timer out, but as we clock on, more and more heroes are dying one by one from both sides, in fact. Oh, sacrifices himself to go for this pile of grape shots. Look at it! We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8! 8 grape shots! Down goes the ballista. Down goes the grape shot. What units do you have, though? I'm looking at basically no units. We got a Medal finally rocking up. Attrition is not looking good for Ecliptos, though. Okay. As much as I like this kind of constant battling, Ecliptos making a huge mistake. They don't need this supply point. They're down to just surf units. Both sides are down to just surf units. What you need to do is regroup and attack the base point. You don't need this supply point. But they finally break through. They finally break through. I would have honestly pulled off from that fight. You didn't need to fight in that tiny area. Mughal Kingdom was a bit too aggressive and spiked themselves in the foot. I think they're both stupid. Mughal Kingdom for fighting in Treb. Yeah, fighting directly in Grape Shot and Treb Zone. The thing is, Ecliptos was also stupid from fighting Mughal Kingdom in an advantageous area. The funny thing is that both sides had advantages at holding that point. Mughal Kingdom literally has been throwing their 300 unit advantage at Ecliptos, stalling them there. 300 unit advantage thrown into that fight. Eventually they lost, but it was an eventuality because the amount of resources that Ecliptos just used, and they're still putting down grape shots. What if you regrouped, came up through the stair on the left, instead have grape shots lining that cliff wall? Mugen Kingdom would have came up, got shot to pieces immediately. But in the end, I do believe Ecliptos is going to win here with a push towards the base. Blasting them apart here. I think Ecliptos could have won faster. It coming down to 3 minutes, a little bit shaky. Just a little bit shaky. They don't back off when they're clearly getting fucked. That would be my what I would say as well. They just went in. They just went in because they were overconfident that they could push through Mugen Kingdom. But Mugen Kingdom had 300 units advantage. It was huge. Mugen Kingdom ate the trebs. They ate the grape shots. So what? 300 units is a lot of units to eat through. And by the time they got through all of that, it was several minutes. Actual minutes of fighting. But nonetheless, I congratulate Ecliptos, and I believe that is all for that is all the battles for today. We got to watch the top 4 teams fight it out. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. Just a little look. Ragnar topping out with the massive 9 kills, 14 assists. I do have to say, Ragnar having a very good opportunity to slice up the heroes that were by themselves. Ecliptos really cutting the defense in half here and letting those exposed heroes get eaten up was really good. Not surprising, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 14 guys from Mugen Kingdom were dead. Were permadead. Not very many coming out from Ecliptos though, but still, lots of deaths coming out from Ecliptos. Unnecessarily? Maybe. But definitely Mugen Kingdom still holding their own at the very end. It was somewhat close. The strange thing is, it was somewhat close for Mugen Kingdom to just throw themselves at Ecliptos. Just double checking. Actually, it was 13 permadeath coming out. Ecliptos doing very well with strategy and teamwork, but Mugen Kingdom actually using their aggressiveness to their advantage. It was beautiful at the start for Mugen Kingdom. Again, coming out strong. Axe, Raider, Skirmish. Wow. I've not seen anyone actually do that properly. Massive damage to the Medaus. Winning on the skirmishing. Heaps of damage on those Medaus. Didn't even engage properly. And what do you see? Mugen Kingdom weak on the front. You had a weakened enemy, and you still lost the front. You had Axe Raiders. Once the Axe Raiders are out of ammo, they're still very good in battle. But enough about complaining about the teams. I'm pretty sure we should just close it up. We do get to see all of these teams fight yet again. This time, Crusaders versus Ecliptos, and TKT versus Mugen Kingdom. So, we have the winner's bracket finally decided. Yes, the winner's bracket finally decided. Semi-finals tomorrow for Crusaders versus Ecliptos. We also have the first of the losers bracket, and then the second of the losers bracket. That will determine the finals. But we will get to see. So, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we'll see Crusaders versus Ecliptos. The loser of that battle will then go and face off against the winner of Mugen Kingdom versus TKT. So, I definitely hope we get to see TKT bring it back. Again, I might be giving Mugen Kingdom too much trash for actually how well they handled some situations, but not all situations. Again, the perfect play probably doesn't exist, and Mugen Kingdom should shapen up, but definitely a contender more so than before, as my confidence in them was quite lacking previous to this. I do believe Mugen Kingdom could have done much better on a lot of occasions. But nonetheless, those are the battles for tomorrow night. And that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I will be closing it up. And my name's Atsukai, and I hope you guys have a nice day or night. Well, bye now.